Welcome back. You're watching Sky News Breakfast. With more than 40 pollution warnings on beaches in England and Wales already this week, questions are being asked about whether water companies are being allowed to cut corners in how they deal with sewage. Well, I'm joined now by the environmentalist and author Julia Hales. A very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Many people have been shocked by the appalling images of sewage spilling out onto the country's shorelines. How bad is the situation and what needs to be done?
I think it's actually incredibly shocking that we've got to this position. When I started as an environmentalist in the late 1980s, we had a reputation of being the dirty man of Europe. And in relation to sewage treatment and going into the seas, it began to get better. And now it's just in a disastrous position. We've got a really fantastic organisation in Surfers Against Sewage highlighting some of the abundant cases where the water companies are simply letting their sewage go into the sea, not just in emergencies, but as an everyday response to the problems they face and not putting enough money into their infrastructure.
And is there an answer? Is there an obvious solution that's simply not being looked at?
Well, of course, like so many other issues, the really obvious solution is that they need more money, they need more resources. And the problem is that the government are simply not prepared to put the resources that are needed into it. Some people say that it's political suicide if they did, because obviously there's so many demands on the resources that they need. But unless they do put that money in, that we are not going to be able to do the infrastructure changes that are needed. And you've also got to make it that the water companies have got to make this a number one priority. It's what they are there to do. And to be paying out shareholders, paying large salaries, and essentially putting money into other areas when they simply have got an infrastructure that is not fit for purpose is absolutely shocking.
Now, Southern Water has said that these leaks are typically 95% rainwater. Is that accurate? And how does the public differentiate between the ones that are and aren't?
I can't tell you whether 95% thing is okay as such, but I do know that there are people swimming in those sort of waters that are getting sick, and I have personal experience of that. And I think that this is a totally ridiculous response, because they're basically trying to say this is not a problem when it absolutely is. And not only that, but they are putting pollution in water which are common bathing spots. They're not warning people. They're not telling them that they're things. People are literally, probably you may even have footage of it, sitting next to sewage pipes and swimming in the water, and they are getting violently sick, which is something that actually happened to my son.
It is pretty horrifying for people, especially, of course, as you say, many families who are down on the beaches on the south coast at the moment in the summer holidays. How dangerous is it for the public? You know, a lot of these beaches have been deemed safe to bathe in again, and are they?
Well, I don't think they're saying they're safe to bathe in when they've just had a sewage outfall. They are definitely not safe to bathe in. And I think that this is something that is really inadequate. Actually, the Environment Agency are not helping, because I don't think they're doing enough to support the public when they're reporting incidents and helping address that issue and getting through to the environment agencies. And I think another issue that hasn't really been covered by this recent things is what is happening to our rivers. We have 80% of the chalk streams in the world, which is an absolute national heritage, and they are being extracted from by the water companies and pollution pouring into them. And this is happening, not only obviously an issue for swimmers and public health, but it's also an ecological disaster as well.
OK, Julia Hales, thank you very much indeed for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.